Well, we're not excited about you sitting here on a Monday morning after a loss. We're not used to that. We don't like this situation. Not what we expected. Just would love to play a little better, and we didn't do that. I give our guys a plus for effort and physicality. I feel like we matched their physicalness, and in those areas we're very, very pleased. Probably a C-D on capitalizing on opportunities. There's so many things. Early in the first half, or in the whole first half, basically, we just didn't get paid for our work. We worked and did a lot of work and didn't cash in. And that was on every kind of phase of the game. We got the ball in the red zone, have to kick a field goal. Get the ball in the red zone, got the ball first and goal on the one, have a penalty. An unfortunate, call there. We would definitely got points, there, probably a touchdown there. We dropped a pick six, great coverage, got the ball right to us, and we end up got two guys there. They kind of knocked themselves off of it, and it's probably a pick six deal. So you had a lot of opportunities, and it goes back to, those type plays, and when you got a chance to capitalize playing a team of that caliber and that talented, you got to cash in, and we were not able to do that, so our guys were not satisfied. You go, minute and a half, left to go in the half, and it's 13-10. You're even with all that happening, you're not up in the game. You hadn't capitalized on a lot of situations, and it's still 13-10 with a team like that. And then bam, bam, it's 27-10. We give up two quick scores. It goes back to the two times we kicked the ball to them in the grass where they had chances to have returns. They housed both of those balls. It goes back to, it shows you, what a first-round draft pick's going to do. 18 makes a great play. That's the reason you don't kick in the ball. We worked on kicking the ball out of bounds all week. We kick it straight down the middle of the field. It's pretty a punt as you'd see, and he breaks a tackle, and before you know it, his speed shows up, and he's sitting in the end zone. And we were fortunate they blocked in the back on the kickoff return. So we solved that problem after that. We just didn't kick the ball to them, really. So I said a lot of things could have went different. You have to credit our opponent. LSU still, even after you play them, they're one of the top five, most talented teams in the country. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Everywhere you look, they got speed, they got players. Our guys are very disappointed in our performance, and we don't feel like we played as good as we could play. And that's on us. That's things that we can improve on. And it's what I tell them. In that caliber of game, which is, the best team we'll play all year, and it's like a playoff game for us, like playing in a championship game or a semifinal game or a quarterfinal game. The margin for error is very, very small in those type games, and that goes back to how we play. And like I said, we feel like we can play better. The game is not what we wanted, but we can grow from it. And a lot of times you grow from these type games, more than you do a win. So we got to go back, and our guys will be ready to get after it. But the first thing you look at as a coach is the A that you got to start with is effort, and physicality. And I felt like we did really good in that area,
You talked about the playoff atmosphere. It's basically this is a playoff type game at home this week. If you'll preview this week.
No doubt. Moving ahead to this week, Coastal Carolina, basically they are an FBS team now. They've moved up. They're disqualified themselves from the playoffs this year because they moved up on their scholarship count. So, and they've been a 10-win plus team in FCS the last 3 or 4 years. So they've been nationally ranked every year. Now they've got more scholarships. They're moving up. So it's like playing a FBS mid-major. So you're basically playing somebody from the Sun Belt. That's the conference they're going into. So they're that caliber of team. They're very talented. So there's no rest for the weary. So you go from SEC team to another FBS team. So, but at least we got them at home. I feel good about playing at home. The good thing about this past weekend, if there is anything good, is we came out fairly healthy out of that physical of a game. So we're a pretty healthy football team now. We ought to get some guys back this week as well. So, you got to go back to work. Got back to work on them yesterday, and just getting had a good look at them this summer and stuff. But they're a well coached football team. Play the game the way you're supposed to. They're where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be. They're very talented. They got good players everywhere on the field.
For the players, Could you guys talk about the pre-conference schedule that's been set for you? That's 4 pretty tough games, and 2 you've already played, and you still have 2 more before you even play the first conference game. Maybe we can start with you at the end, Desmond.
Yeah, I feel pretty much confident because, they are a conference game, but I feel like I have confidence in my team, so we're still going to be doing good and playing like Jacksonville State football. So there's no pressure about next coming 2 games.
I feel pretty good about the first 4 games because I feel like it will get us prepared for the conference, and it will give us some team chemistry going into the conference play. And I think we'll do pretty good.
To add on to that, you look at the schedule, and all 4 of our non-conference games are playoff caliber games. So really, you got your first round of playoff games, and you got your conference, and then you got playoffs. So these are practice playoff games. So that's kind of the way we're approaching it, and the way we're looking at it. And it's good to play good folks. It only makes you better. So it's going to make our team stronger, and it's going to make us better down the line, I think.
Coach, this is probably more of a question for Saturday, but just looking at yourself and the players' faces, there's disappointment over what happened at LSU. You went in there thinking that this was something that you could take care of. What does that tell just about this team's mentality, that they go in there and they really believe against any opponent that they face?
Well, you hear these guys talking. They have a lot of confidence and trust in their teammates and what they're capable of doing. And they know if we play well, we can play with anybody. And they fully expected to go in there and play well and come out with a win. We were not going there expecting to get a check and go home. We were expecting to go in there and win the game. And, I know everybody, else outside our room would say, hey, you're crazy. The LSU's supposed to beat you 10 out of 10 times, and that's the way it's supposed to be. And that's the way the football world works, but that's not the way we look at it. And we look at how we play, and we feel like if we play well, we got a chance to win any game that we're in. And we definitely not go in there with the mentality of hey, we're going to get beat. We went in with the mentality of if we play as well as we can play, we'll have a chance to win this game. And we didn't do that. We didn't play as well as we could play. And like I said, in those type games, you got to be able to do that. And like I said, unfortunately, we didn't. But you've seen the disappointment in our guys' face because they fully expected, to do that, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Can you compare Coastal to anybody that we're with?
I'd say anybody that we've played, in the playoffs, they definitely are. Sam Houston, teams in our conference, they are comparable to, Chattanooga. Like I said, you're looking at a 10-win, team, every year. So they're a very, very good football team, and more like, those teams are more like kind of mid-major FBS teams. So, like I said, they got that talent pool, and like I said, they're athletic. They do a good job of coaching them, and it's going to be quite a task. Like I said, I'm glad we ain't got to go up there. They got to come to us for sure. But very comparable to any of the playoff games that we've played here for sure.